guys? Welcome back to another edition of the Puncher's Point with yours truly, Breezy and Mario. This is another two-topic episode tonight, so strap your seatbelt on for this one, y'all. Wow, breaking news. It seems that Mike Tyson and Jake Paul will be postponed after Mike Tyson's recent airplane situation with him flaring up within between the traveling and landings of the flights. Now, this fight was originally supposed to take place between now and next month. Now they're saying that there will be announcing a new date come June 7th. Now, y'all obviously know how me and Mario feel about this fight. We think this is a terrible fight. This is a trash fight. And not only that, too, but let's mention the fact that the age gap. And the fact about the matter is this. I kept telling people, look, Mike Tyson had just came off a surgery. He was just in a wheelchair. He was walking on a cane. Look, there is no other reason why we need to point and lay out factors of why this fight shouldn't even be happening. The fact that this fight is even still a thing, this thing should be canceled, period. But the fact that this fight is still a thing is just honestly disgusting to me. And the thing about it is, too, right? And shout out to Andreas Haley for that source by ESPN. This fight should not need to happen at all. I've said it before. Me and Mario said it before. It makes no absolute sense. The thing about it is, too, is a lot of people don't understand. It's different from you fighting somebody who's around your age gap and you're not really able to take certain punches and throw certain punches compared to somebody else who's young and fast and hungrier. And a lot of people don't take into account, like, it's just too much into it that does not make sense for this fight to happen. Now, of course, like I said, they will be mentioning a new date come June 7th. Honestly, this is sad. And I ain't really going to say too much on it. Y'all know how I feel about this fight. Y'all know how I feel about Ellen DeGeneres showing a hole behind again, trying to claim that this is a great matchup, even though we know doggone well this is far from making it a great matchup. But enough about me and my talking. Mario, what's your thoughts on the postponing this fight?
Step above from having the fight. We'll say that. But it's a step below from canceling the fight, which is, I think, the correct choice. I want to read this quote, and I'm going to read it word for word so nobody thinks I'm mixing anything up. This is a quote. During a follow-up consultation on Thursday with medical professionals on his recent ulcer flare-up, the recommendation is for Mike Tyson to do minimal to light training over the next few weeks and then return to full training with no limitations. Can this doctor tell Mike Tyson that he's 50 something years old, pushing 60, and he can't be fighting a guy who's 25 years of age? I'm sorry, but I understand we don't take Jake Paul seriously, but one thing we can say is the dude's got power, and the guy could be fighting some legit cruiserweights. The fact that we haven't seen him fight a legit cruiserweight is pretty sad. Now, what I will say is, I know Mike Tyson thinks that he still got it, but this isn't 1990 no more. You know what I'm saying? There's no Customato in your corner. There's no Teddy Atlas. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, the sparring footage, the training footage, he looks good. So I'm not going to rule it out that he could beat Jake Paul. I'm not going to rule it out completely. I'm going to tell you guys this right now. A little spoiler alert for the prediction episode. I don't care what logic makes sense. I'm picking Mike Tyson to win this fight. I'll be dang if I'm gonna pick Jake Paul to win a fight. I'm gonna be. I don't care. I'll take the loss on that one. Okay, because I'm not rooting for Jake Paul. I'm not picking him to win this fight because I don't want to see him win this fight. And I usually predict with no bias, but I'm sorry, this prediction is gonna have a lot of bias. Would you like to add something, Breezy?
Touch up on that too. Now let me tell y'all something too. Logan Paul, who is Jake Paul's brother, recently came out talking about some. Well, if Mike Tyson can't make the fight, I'm still live for Mike Tyson. Let me tell you something, Logan Paul. You didn't jump your little narrow behind in the WWE. Let me tell you something right quick. All right, you didn't jump your behind in them in that four square ring. Now you got a United States champion. Let me tell you something, buddy. You got LA Knight to worry about. Don't worry about Jake. Nah. We got Jao Patai on the way. You need to drop that belt to LA Knight. You shouldn't be worrying about no Jake Paul. Mind your own business. You heard me? Now to touch up on your part, Mario. To touch up on your point, I got a lot of bias in this fight too. I want I want Mike Tyson to knock his head between the wash. I want Mike Tyson to hit him so doggone hard that when we watching them fight, our phone shut down. The fight just freeze up because Mike hit him so doggone hard. I doubt it would happen, but I want it. I want it bad. I really want it. Jake, I can't stand you. You be pulling some BS schemes behind the rules, and when I'm telling you right now, I just want Mike to just make him do it on himself. Do that for me, Mike. Make him boo boo on himself. Make him use the bathroom on himself. But I had to get that off my chest. But I hope Mike Tyson knocks him out if this fight happens.
I'm not hoping for any ill will on Jake Paul. You know, I'm hoping that Mike Tyson doesn't kill him. All I'm hoping, dude, like when Usyk hit Fury and he made him say Happy New Year's, I'm just hoping that Tyson hits Jake Paul hard enough to the point where he puts some common sense back into his brain and he realizes the real goal at hand. That's it. Like, I don't want to see this no more, man. Like, I'm done with it. If you want to go fight KSI, go do that. Jake Paul versus Logan Paul would make big bucks. If you want to do that, feel free. But I don't want to see him fight 57, 58-year-old Mike Tyson.
I'm not saying I want Tyson to kill Paul. I'm just saying I just want to hit him just hard enough to just make him streak on himself. Look, and nobody be like, oh, that's too graphic. Don't worry, there's enough paper towels in the world to clean up the mess. I'm just saying, I just want Mike Tyson to just one good time. Just right in the body, just a little streak. You know what I'm saying? Just I ain't saying kill the man, but I'm just saying hit him hard enough to where you're like, you know, he know who you is.
Look, I will say that Mike Tyson looks pretty good, you know, from where we seen him in like 2010 to where he was all fat and, you know, he looked like a shell of himself. He looks like he's in the best shape of his life since the 90s and the 80s. I'm not going to say that he's in that type of shape anymore because clearly he's not. I mean, that's a different breed of a fighter right there. But what I will say is, again, this isn't the 90s. This isn't the 80s. Mike Tyson is not Kid Dynamite. He's not the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world no more. And I think people got to understand and realize that. Look, Mike Tyson has a chance to beat Jake Paul. I'm not saying he has no chance whatsoever. All it takes is one good round. You know what I'm saying? All it takes is one prime good round. That's it. Okay. And I do believe that if we see prime Mike Tyson again, I do believe that it's going to be a problem. But this has got to be the saddest fight Jake Paul can pick and I don't even know why he's still sticking through with it. The only other logical reason why I think he would stick through with this is because of money. Because you beat Mike Tyson, they're going to say you beat a 58-year-old man. You lose to Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's going to be a hero, and they're going to say that you lost to a 58-year-old man. You don't get any credit for this. You didn't get credit for the Anderson Silva and the Nate Diaz fight. What makes you really think you're going to get credit for the Mike Tyson fight? That's just a genuine question that I'm here to ask. I would love to have a nice little interview with Jake Paul, sit him down and say, why did you pick this fight? Literally, why? And if I hear the words that because Mike Tyson's a legend, I'm going to cut him off right there. I'm going to cut him off right there because I already know that's the one excuse that they're probably going to go to. You could have rematched Tommy Fury and got your get back. You could have fought your brother. You could have tried to make a fight with KSI. Now, I know he said he's been trying to make those fights and they've been declining him, but you could have been fighting the guys that you were fighting, Ryan Borland, Andre August. You could have been fighting those guys. And honestly, I got a lot of respect for fighting guys like that because let's be real, again, every professional fighter, if you go to their first 5 fights, they fought guys with negative records. So it's not uncommon for professional boxers to fight below their competition in the first professional fights of their career. But this is not it, man.
Gonna be my last time, and I'm gonna let you cook through. Wasn't you supposed to fight one of Eddie Hearn's fighters? You remember you had that interview with Eddie Hearn and whatnot. Eddie Hearn said you would fight one of his challengers, the type contenders, and you said, "Oh yeah." What happened with that? What happened with that, Jake? We still ain't heard nothing back from that. I thought you supposed to be getting in there one of Eddie Hearn fighters or whatnot. Eddie Hearn said something about some fight, but he switched conversations real quick about it. Hey yo, it's real sunny out here, you know. He switched the topic real quick when Eddie Hearn was mentioning about his fighters. What happened about that, Jake? What happened about that? Oh, but you'll fight Mike Tyson though. You go fight somebody granddaddy. Matter of fact, how about this? How about we go get the strongest crackhead out of the hood and we put him in the ring with Jake? I pay to see it.
I don't think I'm going to be paying for any Jake Paul fight. It's not happening, man. He's
I,
not worth my.
you
It's not
you
worth
get
my
what
money.
I mean.
It's
You
not
get
worth
what
my
I
money.
mean.
I don't know. And again, they got this like I think it's $2 million. This $2 million VIP package that they got for the fight. Who's paying for that? You can
I
get that for
look.
$10,000 at the UFC, and it's a lot better. Who's paying for
I
it?
I agree. I'm just saying, crackheads are indestructible. That's all I'm saying.
I don't want to see this fight. Nobody wants to see this fight. I feel like the Paul brothers, I feel like they strive on controversy. I feel like they strive on going against the grain. I feel like they strive on creating problems. I mean, he is the problem child. So this is another problem in the boxing business. You don't need to do all this. Honestly, I don't know what his plans are. He said he wants to be a world champion. Now he's taking a step back to becoming a world champion. He says he wants to fight with KSI and those social media guys, but yet you fight Mike Tyson. Honestly, the only reason why this fight is happening is because of a payday for both of them. That's it. There's no other excuse as to why this fight's happening. You can't give me another excuse as to why this fight's happening. Easy payday.
WBO, Mr. WBO, we boxing oldies.
We boxing oldies. Quote that. That's what it is. We boxing oldies. Dude, like it's ridiculous now at this point. Like, I don't even know what else to say about it, man. I don't want this fight to
I
happen.
do.
I'm hoping that it don't get postponed. For the last time, cancel this fight. If you're gonna take anything out of this episode or out of this topic, cancel this fight, please. Do you have anything to add, Breeze, before we move on to the next topic, which is a topic that is worth talking about?
It quack like a duck. If it walk like Jake, then it is a Jake. And as far as I'm concerned, at the end of the day, all his little 13-year-old fangirls can keep on saying that he the best boxer ever. I don't care what nobody is saying. Until he get in the ring with somebody credible, he's still Jake Paul from Disney Channel, dancing on top of cars, looking like Ellen DeGeneres. And that's just what it's always going to be to me. I'm done. Next topic.
Next topic, let's get to it. Again, I said it was too good to be true, and it is too good to be true. Tim Tszyu, unable to fully spar, will not face Vergil Ortiz in August. Before I say anything, the source for this is Mike Coppinger, ESPN. Y'all know how excited I was for this fight. Tim Tszyu and Vergil Ortiz has been a fight that I've been wanting to see for a very long time. And again, like I said, Breezy, it is too good to be true. I got some problems with this right here, and we go straighten them out. All right. Before I tell you guys my issues, I just want to go over a little bit of the background. So Tim Tszyu, he was forced to withdraw from the fight August 3rd against Vergil Ortiz because of the cut from the top of his head that he suffered from the Sebastian Fundora fight not fully healing. Promoter George Rose announced this, and the highly anticipated junior middleweight fight was set to take place on the undercard, like we know, of Terence Crawford versus Israel Madrimov in Los Angeles. However, that's not the case no more. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I will say this. This was not in Tim Tszyu's favor. You know what I'm saying? Tim Tszyu wanted the fight. We know how tough he is. Obviously, we saw it in the Sebastian Fundora fight. I do have a quote right here, and I want to read this because I do think it's important. It says, "We are bitterly disappointed with the setback, and Tim is extremely frustrated after a great pre-camp with Kasia." That's what his promoter Rose and the CEO of No Limit Boxing said. He showed everyone that he'll fight through anything against Fundora, but this decision was taken out of his hands, to be honest. Ultimately, this was his body and medical professionals telling him he wasn't ready yet. I'm going to tell you guys my problem. Why did you accept this fight? If you knew this was a risk, why did you accept it? All right. Now, look, it could have been Tim Tszyu accepting it, but you have a team. Okay. I know boxing is an individual sport, but behind every boxer, there is a team. There is a promoter. There is a trainer. There is a cut man. There is a CEO. There is the president of the boxing company that you are signed to. Why did you guys accept this? If you knew he wasn't ready, you guys could have worked it out and set it for a later date instead of August 3rd. First of all, can we just sit here and admit to ourselves that this is not an undercard fight? We're talking about Vergil Ortiz, who has a 100% knockout rate, who has been sleeping everybody he's been fighting. And we got Tim Tszyu, who was a former world champion and who was at one point arguably behind Jermell Charlo as the best junior middleweight. Can we stop putting this as an undercard fight because Tim Tszyu had one loss and it was because he got elbowed on his head? Can we not have this as an undercard fight? If you want as a co-main, be my guest. That's fine. I prefer it as a main event because this is a must-see fight, Breezy. Honestly, between these two guys. I've been waiting for this fight for a very, very long time. This is probably the biggest fight in boxing without a title on the line. It's up there. You can argue it. Obviously, some people are going to say Wilder, Zhang. There's obviously Catterall and Taylor that just happened, but this is up there as the biggest fight that you can make in boxing, not for a title. People are going to say maybe Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua if that happened, but regardless, you get my point. It's in the mix. I don't understand why you guys accepted this fight. I can't wrap my head around it. You guys knew the cut wasn't going to heal. I mean, I know you could have set this for a later date. This could have been in December. This could have been in October. You could have gave this man time to heal. You could have gave him a proper date to where you knew the cut was going to heal. And that was that. Or you could have just not announced it at all. So I do want to say this. There is a guy, Sherry Bohanchik. He is the number 6 junior middleweight. He is most likely going to be replacing Tim Tszyu on this card. So Vergil will still be fighting. Now, for people who are going to say that Bohanchuk is not a great fight, he's a decent fighter. I mean, this guy had a very impressive win over Brian Mendoza recently. So I do think that this is a good fight for Vergil Ortiz, but is it Tim Tszyu? Absolutely not. And again, I can go on a soap opera about this all day long, but I'm not going to do that, Breezy. I'm going to pass on to you. Do you have the same thoughts as me as far as Tim Tszyu and Vergil being canceled?
Same thoughts as you, exactly. Why would y'all even put it out in the public if that was the case? Because then you got everybody hypes all hoped up and whatnot. Now you got folks crying in the corner. You got folks crying in the car, sad puppies and whatnot. And then undercard, stop playing. So you gonna slap Tim Tszyu in the face like that? You gonna slap Vergil Ortiz in the face like? Then you gonna slap my dog Mario in the face like that? That's not cool. Why y'all gonna put on the undercard? Are you serious? No, you don't put that on the undercard. You ridiculous.
You can slap Tim Tszyu, you can slap Vergil Ortiz, but you ain't slapping me with this trash news. I'm gonna be honest. I was for this. I was for this fight. Ever since Vergil Ortiz has been hitting the scene, ever since Tim Tszyu has been hitting the scene, I said these two gotta cross paths. If they can't make the big fights happen, they gotta make it against each other. And the fact that this ain't happening, it's making me pretty sad, honestly, because it's a very good card. It's a stacked card. If it's this stacked, I'm sorry, Tim Tszyu and Vergil Ortiz shouldn't have even been on it, because if you're going to have them on the undercard, that's pretty sad. I'm sorry.
And I'm telling you right now, fans are gonna let you know exactly how they feel about it. I'm telling you right now, this is only can be accepted as a co or a main event. It cannot be undercard. It can't be third, first, third, blueberry third. It can't be none of that junk. It's got to be either co-main or main event. Anything after that, you slapping folks in the face, and that ain't even cool. But I really don't understand why would they announce it if you knew this man wasn't cleared to fight yet. I mean, respect to Tim Tszyu for trying to be a warrior and get out there, man. But I ain't gonna lie though, man. I'm sorry, but Sebastian Fundora hit you with the people's elbow in the fight and whatnot. And he gassed you all up and whatnot. So you gotta heal, man. I get it. You want to get in the fight, but there was a mean cut to the head and whatnot. Heal up, bro. I understand. Take your time. Let your head fully healed up and whatnot. And y'all gotta watch out because the dude is tall, and now he hitting the people's elbow on people. Not on purpose, but it was on accident. But it was a people's elbow. It was a nice move, clean people's elbow. Okay, cool. All right. But I'm just saying, I don't think that y'all should announce it to the public had y'all already knew this ahead of time. And it should not be a fight on the undercard. It has to be co-main event or main event. Anything after that is a slap in the face.
You're wrong. When Tim Tszyu is fully healthy, I guarantee you he's going to make a fight ASAP. Whether that's going to pick up with Vergil or whether it's going to be against somebody else, Tim Tszyu will come back ASAP. I know that for a fact. And I mean, when you really look at the card, I mean, the co-main event, Pitbull Cruz is defending his belt against Jose Valenzuela. Don't get me wrong, it's a great fight. And you can argue whether or not that's above Vergil Ortiz and Tim Tszyu. I don't think it is. And then the other one, Andy Ruiz taking on Jarrell Miller. That is definitely below Tim Tszyu and Vergil Ortiz. I'm just saying, this fight was out of place. This fight was out of place on this card. When I heard it was the undercard, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is not going to be the co-main event. And I understand it because Pitbull Cruz has been the co-main event for almost all of his fights. But can we give Pitbull Cruz his own main event as well? I mean, the guy is one of the best 140 pounders in boxing today. Can we give this guy his own co-main event? Can we give him a competitor? Can we give him an opponent who is worthy of a co-main event? No disrespect to Jose Valenzuela. I'm not saying he's a bum. I'm not saying he's a scrub. And I'm not saying he's not worthy of a title shot. What I am saying is it's not a big enough fight to make it an actual main event and to give Pitbull Cruz his own card. But Tim Tszyu and Vergil Ortiz, I mean, if you're a true boxing fan and you've been following with these guys, you want to see this fight. You know, Vergil Ortiz has been sleeping everybody. Everybody. I mean, everybody who stepped in front of him has fallen. He has an 100% knockout rate, and he's basically the better BF of his division without a belt. So, and Tim Tszyu, I mean, he's proven that he's a champion. You know what I'm saying? So, I got to see this fight happen. I got to see it on its own card.
I don't care what y'all call Vergil Ortiz. From now on, that man name is Vergil Nightquill Ortiz. Because every time he putting somebody to sleep, it's almost like he put Nightquill in his gloves, and as soon as he hit him, they got a dose of him that Nightquill. So from now on, I'm calling him Vergil Nightquill Ortiz.
If he fights in the morning, he turns into Vergil Dayquil Ortiz. I'm telling you that right now. And his last fight against Frederick lost. Actually, it was Thomas Delorme. We said he had to knock out Thomas Delorme. I think he knocked out Thomas Delorme. You know, he's knocked out Frederick Lawson. This guy's knocked out everybody he's faced. The only question is he hasn't faced big enough competition, and we're questioning, can he knock out that big competition? But overall, I mean, the guy's been doing great. You know what I'm saying? The guy's been doing great. 100% knockout rating, and we were supposed to get him versus Tim Tszyu, and I do believe that whoever won that fight would have got a title shot. 100%. I don't know against who. Maybe it. I'm not sure against who. Maybe it would have been Crawford. You know, maybe it would have been Madrimov. Maybe it would have been Fundora. Who knows? But or Spence, depending on who wins that fight. But I'm gonna say this right now: whoever won that fight was getting a title shot, and now we're not gonna see it. Most likely, Vergil Ortiz. I expect him to win. Obviously, we're not going to be predicting that fight no more because obviously it's lost a lot of meaning. I hate to say that, but it's true. Tim Tszyu and Vergil Ortiz was the fight that we wanted to see, was the fight that we were going to predict. And honestly, Breezy, I hope Tim Tszyu has a speedy recovery, and I hope we get to see this fight in the future because it's just unfortunate that it got canceled like this. Anything you would like to add before we break it down? You know what, Breezy? I'm going to let you break it down since you're so great at it.
That's final thoughts to sum up this whole episode. Jake Paul fighting senior citizens, and another travesty to boxing as another fight has been postponed. We already had Better Be Than Bivol, but no, that can't be it. We gotta also have Vergil Ortiz and Tim Tszyu. It's all good. I feel like, you know, let's say the states don't want to do it again or can't do it again. We got Mr. Turkey Alashiki. So I'll say that's the good news. But other than that, though, y'all know what the deal is. It's Punchers Point. We're live every week. We tapped in every week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and sometimes Saturday. You know the schedule. Get your mom on the schedule. Get your daddy on the schedule. No diddy. Get your family on the schedule. Get your church on the schedule. Get your school, your co-workers. Get everybody onto the schedule. You know what the deal is. The Punchers Point, we up and we live every week. Without that, make sure you stay on point with the Punchers Point.